Hey Info Studio, me here with some tips on your final assignment. But one little thing before we get to that, I have a request for you. Please fill out the Unit of Study survey. You might have seen this linked at the top of the Canvas page. You might have seen it in your email. You're seeing it again here now. Go to this address. Actually, pause this video. Stop right now. Hit the pause button right down there. Go and take this survey. Go to student-surveys.sydney.edu.au/student/complete. Let me tell you why this thing is super important for us. First and foremost, it helps us understand what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. If you've loved the way that we have taught this subject, please let us know. There's no other way that we're going to find out. If you hate the way that we've taught this subject, please let us know. There's no other way that we're going to find out. If you're 50-50 on this subject, same again, there's no other way. But also, these surveys, both how many people respond to them and how highly they grade us, make a huge difference to resourcing for design going forwards. The best way for us to make an argument to the university that we need more staff, that we need more resources, that we need better equipment, is to show an improvement in these Unit of Study survey marks and to say that we're a high quality degree and want you stand behind us and throw us some more cash. It's crazy that that's what's necessary, but that's the world we're living in. So just know that if you do these surveys and you give us good marks, that means more cash for us down the road. And finally, it is always super important for us to be able to say, hey, we got a higher response rate than the architects did. Just saying. Moving on to assignment 3, the reason why you actually clicked on this. Sorry for hitting you hard with a pitch. Those surveys truly are important to us. Let's look at what you're being asked to do in assignment 3. This is the first paragraph of the description on the Canvas page. I just want to go through and explain some of the pieces. In this assignment, you will receive data that has been output from a series of intelligent algorithms, and your job is to explore it, to discover insights, and present those insights as a story supported by interactive visualizations. So what does this mean? It means I did some AI stuff so that you didn't have to. I put all the results in a bunch of big spreadsheets, and your job now is to make a story out of some portion of the data that is given to you. Those of you who've gone and checked out the data already, the data is all of the tweets from the last 2 American presidents, Presidents Trump and Obama, all of the tweets that they made from their official account during their presidency, stretching all the way back into 2008, where President Obama's tweets are like in the third person because he says stuff like, President Obama will be at Townsville today, all the way through to the stuff the other guy said. That data is presented to you both as a series of tweets and then a set of results of different AI algorithms that I've run to add meaning to those tweets. So that's sentiment analysis, saying the positive or negative sentiment expressed by that tweet, as well as a bunch of statistics showing relative frequency of different words or ideas, and placing those tweets into a bunch of different high-dimensional spaces that can show which ones are related to which. The most important thing I can say here is go explore the data, go look at the instructions, go look at the descriptions, play around with it and see what you've got. There's a huge amount of data there. And just like in the last assignment, you're not being asked to make a story out of all of it, but to understand it well enough to pick a small piece and tell a really interesting story with that. Moving on through the description then, you will develop 1 or more interactive visualizations and embed them in a web page to tell your story. The format of the submission is exactly the same as assignment 2, just the word limit is a little bit larger. You're going to produce an interactive article. You're going to do it using Plotly or whatever other tools that you find work for you. You're going to take the provided data and you're going to place it into a static web page that is pretending to be an article on like a newspaper or something or other. This time the word limit is 1,200 words, not including references, not including your documentation, like your justification and your evaluation, more on those later. Note that you're trying to find an interesting story within the data. Like I said, you're not trying to tell the story of all of the data. If this sounds too much, I think a great place to start is to pick a topic that interests you, a particular topic that is relevant to US presidents. The economy, house prices, the Middle East, climate change, various different geopolitical conflicts, the business of nations. Pick something in there that you're interested in and then compare how these two people talked about it using the provided data. That's a starting point. Not saying you have to do that, but if you're lacking in a little bit of inspiration on where to go, maybe start there. You will also be asked to submit a half-page description. So this is actually something people had problems with in the last assignment. There's the article where you're writing as if you're producing a piece for some kind of publication. You're producing a piece of data journalism. And then there's the documentation. In the article, you're pretending to be a journalist and you write as if your work is to be consumed by an audience. And then in your justification, you're writing to me, or to your tutor, more likely, who is going to be marking it. They're separate things. They have separate voices. You write your assignment for an imagined audience, and then you write the documentation about the assignment. They are two separate documents. Please keep that in mind. This description should talk about how you used your data, why you used it in that way, what motivated you to do it, as well as a justification for why you did it this way, why you told the story this way, why you used these visualizations, and why you designed and composed them in this particular way. Make it easy for us to see the hard work you did. Make it easy for us to see the hard thinking that you did. Make it easy for us to understand why this assignment deserves marks. That's the purpose of the description. And then finally, you'll remember this back from assignment 1. It's evaluation time again. Conduct a usability evaluation in whatever way that you feel fits the visualizations that you've produced. Document what you've evaluated, what you found, and what you changed. So show us that you found something interesting in your visualization and that you fixed it. You could, if you wanted to, show us that your visualization is absolutely perfect and that your users thought it was absolutely perfect and everything was absolutely perfect and you had to change nothing, but that's just probably not going to happen, is it? If it genuinely does, that's okay, write about it, but maybe a better evaluation would have found something that you could have worked on, right? Very few designs are perfect before they've been tested. A couple of little things before we leave. Read the instructions. How many times have I had at least a small number of students not carefully read what they're being asked to do? That's just throwing good marks after bad. It is the easiest way to make sure you don't lose marks. Just check what you think I actually want. Double check and then triple check with your tutor. Just read it. It's not that hard. So here's some hot tips to make sure you get the most out of this assignment. Explore the data first. You're probably not going to latch on to your best possible story in your first 5 minutes of browsing through these large piles of numbers. So take the time, get familiar with the data, play around, make a bunch of visualizations, do it in Excel, do it in Google, do whatever makes sense for you. You don't have to use Plotly to get yourself started. Play around, do some of that exploratory data analysis we talked about back in, I know, week 5, week 6, whatever it was. Get familiar first, then latch onto a story and then drill down. It's not like it's wasted work if it helps you understand how to do good. Submit a zip. Remember, this all goes into Canvas as a zip. It's all uploaded together. A self-contained website plus all your documentation in one place. Remember your evaluation. That means it has to be done with real people, which means that your actual assignment shouldn't be finished half an hour before the deadline. It's going to be real tough to scare up a bunch of real people. You want to do a rigorous user evaluation that convinces us that you really tested, really improved your visualization, really made your article better. You spent a lot of time in this degree learning how to do usability evaluations. Now's the time to do it. And remember your documentation. Just make it easy for us to understand why what you did was good. And to finish, how many times have I said it now? Read the criteria. If you've learned one thing from this subject, well, actually you should have learned a lot of things from this subject, but in addition to all of the other things, read the criteria. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your marks. I hope this video has been helpful in putting together your strategy for approaching the final assignment. I'm super keen to see what you guys are going to come up with. I think we've got collectively an awesome bunch of students with great design skills who are actually able to express them in terms of these visualizations now. We're armed, we're ready, we're going to do amazing things. I can't wait to see them. I'll see you in class.